I've got some questions that I prepared earlier. Can you explain more about the difference between movie-making thoughts and present sensory experience?
Movie-making thoughts are when we are hallucinating beyond any real data. So I'll give you an example let's say a person walks by and says, "Hello, how are you?" And you notice in yourself there's a physiological response that is feelings of attraction. That's going to happen. We have human bodies. And attraction will happen chemically in our human bodies, a biological response that will signal, might be a quickening of the heart, might be dilating of the pupils. You might notice that there's some more, dopamine in the system. There's some level of, there's some attraction to this person that said hello. Present sensory experience. I'm aware. Person's walked by, said hello. My body has responded in such a way that it's signaling to me there is attraction present.
Okay.
Present sensory experience. Movie making is that person. We're going to have a great life together. They're my soulmate. We're going to have a beautiful family and travel, and they're everything I've ever wanted, and and creating stories of who we think that this person is, that we have they're wearing a white shirt. Well, then that must mean that if they're enlightened, obviously, because they're wearing a white shirt, and
that's obvious.
It's obvious, right? That is movie making.
Okay.
Yeah? Do you get the difference?
Yes, that was very good example.
A lot of people don't understand the distinction between this is what's here now, biofeedback. This is what I'm observing. I'm noticing this person is walking in such a way that they carry themselves in an upright posture. Then there's beyond that's like, so that means that they're confident. Oh, so that means that they must own their own business. So that means that all of that's meaning making. All of that. Anything that goes beyond the present sensory data in the moment.
And actually, it's just they have a good posture. That's the only thing.
That's all. That's all, the only data that's there. They're walking upright in this moment. In this moment, maybe they just had a session with the chiropractor that said, "Pay more attention to your posture. Walk upright." And they're leaving the chiropractor off and practicing that. We don't know. Any thoughts of that will be meaning making. Any thoughts of that. Any thoughts of what we think that person is like, or does, or. And the thing is, our minds are meaning-making machines. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to make up meaning. They're going to come up with associations. They're going to say, oh, well, that person is vegan, therefore they must be kind to all people. Like, the mind will make associations. Our job is to watch and witness and notice. Mind just made up a story right there.
Seems like most minds make stories all the time, or at least in my experience.
The untrained brains do that. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. And you have had an experience of what brain training is like and how the mind does get quiet when we are mindful of our present sensory experience.
Yeah, it goes. I go in and out from this.
It can't sustain with that ongoingly without us continuing to redirect our attention there. It's like if you don't brush your teeth, the plaque is going to come back. I don't care if you've brushed your teeth every day up until now, twice a day up until now. If you stop, you will get tartar and plaque. It's going to happen. It's the response that happens, right? When you eat and there's sugars in the mouth, it builds up. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like
that's just reality.
It's like
that's just a fact. Like if you stop doing this, something else would happen, and it's inevitable.
You've had an experience. You've gone to the gym, gotten pretty buff, built some nice muscles, built some nice, abs physique. Stopped training, stopped working out. What happens?
it stayed for a little bit, and it went away.
Precisely. Stays for a little bit, and then whatever's current will take over.
That's interesting, because I had this exact experience being trained by you many years ago, and I don't know if that's just me or that's like a general human experience, that when I got to the point when I thought, okay, I'm sorted and I know now, so I like stopped going to the gym, metaphorically, and then slowly
It disappeared, and you're like, what the hell? It didn't work.
yeah.
And it's actually a common human. It's the whole reason why we use the gym metaphor with the Intrinsic Brilliance Institute's flagship program, Your Success Code. The reason that the metaphor is your mind gym is because neuroplasticity is the same as building strength in the muscles. It is the same. When we stop attending to our mind mindfully, when we stop nourishing ourselves skillfully, it's no different like then the muscles start to disintegrate. So we can either, we can start doing our personal work when we want to build strength for the first time. We've never built strength before. We don't know what we're doing. We're trying to just work it out, learning how. People enroll in the program for that reason. Other people enroll in the program because they've got the strength and they're recognizing, if I'm going to maintain it, I need some support, because I can't, we live in a world that's full of noise and chaos and fear, and most minds making meaning all of the time. Most minds don't know any better. They don't know the difference. They don't actually have no experience of what a quiet mind is like. And for those of us who are privileged enough to have had the experience to know, I know what presence feels like. I know what presence feels like. And I know anything that's not that is some story, meaning making that's going on. And it's my work to bring myself back to the present moment. And I might need some tools and support to help that. I might need a gym, a community to support me with that. Because when we have a gym, we turn up, we do our exercises, and we go, it's the same, it's the incentivizing. And, others come to the gym because they want to strengthen their strength. They're like, it's pretty good, but I know that I can strengthen. Yeah, I want to strengthen. And if I hang out with these people, these bodybuilders, it's gonna rub off on me, because I'm gonna be around them and I'm gonna watch what they're doing, and I'm gonna learn some tips and tricks, and I'm gonna strengthen my strength. We cannot not attend to our minds and expect a quality of life that is rich, joyful, present, all the things that we want, successful, all the things that we want. We can't have that unless we're aware of what's going on in here.
Yeah. It sounds really good. I feel like I'm considering again joining your Success Code program after our yesterday chat already, but this is just making me stronger in my convictions.
You've already experienced firsthand how effective it is. You already know the impact that it has, and the impact that it has when you're not. You've already experienced
Yeah, I know
that.
the difference.
Yeah?
And I think especially after experiencing it firsthand, the gap is getting bigger, because if I don't know, I don't know. And now it's like, whoa, I don't want this shit anymore because I know how good it feels.
Beautiful.
Be present.
There's that part of you that's like, I'm not willing to settle or tolerate the level of movie making that once upon a time was probably your normal.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Now I can
And now you see it, you recognize it, and you're like, okay, all right, what has to happen for me to walk through that door? And part of that process is, let me love and accept where I am. Let me love and this is where I am. Namaha. It's okay.
What is Namaha?
Perfect. Namaha is Sanskrit for, kind of translates to not me, or some version of It is. It is. Namaha. It's what's there.
Like it is what it is?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah. Namaha. Like this is what's here now. Like this is, it started raining. Namaha.
I think my mind is still stuck often. Like I like to think that I'm going with the flow and all of that. But when I hear that Namaha, I'm mildly triggered.
Nice noticing.
It's like, you and your Namaha. But I
Tell me more.
it's
Tell
like,
me more.
it's like, yeah, it sounds good. I could do it because I had moments when I experienced that. And I'm like, okay, this happened. What now? Like, I can't do anything about it. But sometimes I don't have that. I'm like, no, I'm reactive. So when I cannot accept it, I feel in a way more triggered because I know, like, it's similar to what we were talking before, that I know that I have choice again. So it's like I have to choose again. Like every time I have to choose.
Every time you have to choose.
And it's
every time. It's a moment by moment thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You made this choice however many years ago. I'm gonna fortify my mind.
yeah.
Every moment, every time you have to choose. Let me accept what's here, or let me resist it. The reaction comes from resisting it. You're reactive because there's a part of you that's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't look.
Like I remember it was a couple of years ago, I wrote this piece that I don't want to do things anymore. Like I just want to be left alone. That I've got enough of self-work. I've got enough of being mindful. I just like, life, can you just leave me alone? And but it seems like there's no, like, not that it seems, it's true, there's no way back.
There's no way back.
And that also reminds me of what we were talking yesterday. We were talking about lyrics of one song, that there's nowhere to go and nowhere to slow. And it's just, that I don't have this choicelessness, like that I have to choose each moment, that I need to show up again and again and again. And it seems just tiring.
Yes.
But when I'm not choosing consciously, it's even worse because I'm repeating the patterns that are even more annoying than before because I'm not used to them anymore. I'm not used to just being stuck in a loop. I want to be empowered. Like I know how it feels like to make conscious choices, to be in charge of this all the time.
So I ask, which I? When you say, I want to choose, which I? It's the one that's doing the choosing.
The big I, the eye of all eyes.
Can you presuppose, what would happen if you presupposed that you have chosen this life, this experience, this, all of it? Like when there's that story, I want to be left alone, I don't, fuck off and leave me. I don't want any of it. I don't want any, and I know this from my own lived experience, obviously, yeah? Like this is, that just leave me alone and just leave me be and I'll tend. And what happens when we presuppose you have already chosen this? You in your infinite wisdom have chosen this experience.
In my experience, like what you're saying, it's like, what I'm saying is, I didn't choose to be here. Like, that's not what I signed up for. But like in bigger sense, oh yes you did. It's like, you can say that you didn't and suffer, but you can accept that it's your dharma or karma, that whatever is already. I feel, in my experience, living in the city, living in Sydney, I tend to follow certain structures. Such as waking up, like driving a car, being like on time, and then I'm losing touch with that free flow. also that accepting whatever is, that I have to be in charge in certain areas, and then I feel like that doesn't help me with the free flow when I have to surrender, because I have to consciously think of too many things, and surrendering is like on the other end of this, just accepting whatever is. And I feel like sometimes if I would surrender too much, I lose the grip of, I don't know, of my reality or where I'm going with myself.
Yes. If you surrender too much, you lose grip of your reality and where you're going with this. Nice noticing. Yes.
Okay, I see. I see what you're saying. Just being mindful to, I know. It's like how much is too much and how much is enough. But that's like
How much is too much and how much is enough?
I knew that.
In this moment.
I think for me, it's a matter of trust. It changes moment to moment.
Moment to moment.
So if I'm on holidays like I am now, I can choose to surrender and free flow more than when I'm somewhere else. And when I'm in working mode, I can just be more structured, let's say.
And this is the skillful driving of the vehicle, right? This is the skillful driving. The human, the vehicle has some things it needs to do in the world. It's wake up and you drive a car and whatever else. And these things, they need to happen. Yeah?
Yeah.
Got life and things to do and people, the mouths to feed. Yeah? There are activities that are responsibilities for us as humans. Can't deny this, yeah? So to say, oh no, I'm just gonna sit and meditate all day and surrender and all that, equally dysfunctional. unless you decided I will retire to a monastery, unless that's someone else will, unless that's
easy path.
Yes, unless that is, and I have had that thought many a time. Oh, I wish I could. And
You can.
deep inside, I know that is not. This is not what. This being is not here for that. This being is here to model living mindfully, yogic business. That's what this being is here for. How can we operate in such a way and be non-attached to the outcome? Go through the normal spreadsheets and business meetings and, have the programs and speak the language and still deeply, deeply know there is no separation.
Separation between what exactly?
Any of it. This thing that what appears to be you and what appears to be me. These constructs that our intellectual minds like to make up. They're there on one level, on the material level. They exist. They're there. And also, there is also a greater knowing. Whenever I am feeling stuck, I switch positions. Because stuck happens in the human.
So we switch positions to
the being.
What came to my mind was, like, I feel like I'm channeling your wisdom. Like, who is stuck?
It's not mine, it's ours.
That's even better.
It's like, we're all plugged into the same source. Infinite intelligence is available to all of us. This being here, this being that knew, at whatever age that was, has always on some level known. This being has always known. There's more than meets the eye.
Known what?
Known what?
Everything that needs to be known in present moment.
Everything that needs to be known in present moment.
Wow. I feel like I'm getting good transmission just by being in this for last couple of minutes.